Guys, we have started a cool project that is just in the beginnings right now, and although it looks like we are painting right now, we are not. We are getting ready to insulate some of the roof cap. Now, the reason we can insulate the roof cap is because it doesn't interfere with the four-way in any way. It won't bury any of our plumbing lines, it won't bury any of our electrical lines, and so we're okay to go ahead and do that. I did check with my inspector first, so if you're gonna try and kind of get some of your insulation done prior to, I would check with your inspector and make sure that he's on board with it. Like I said, that's no problem at all. When I was doing the insulation, I knew there's a few things that I wanted. One was a good price. Obviously you can overpay and obviously you can underpay. And two was I wanted the most efficiency possible. And when you're doing a home and insulating the home, realistically, spray foam insulation is the best you can get, whether it's closed cell or open cell. We are going open cell, and Lowder Future Foam is doing the job for me. They came in and I'm really impressed with them because all of this plastic that they've laid out, you technically don't have to, because at the end of the day, all of the drops that come down, we could scrape up, and some contractors won't do that. So I really like the effort that they're putting into this stage of the insulation process, which tells me if they're doing it here, I'm gonna get that good of an insulation cap on my house. So details matter, and I'm really happy with them so far. It is like 30 degrees out here right now, and they said once we start spraying, the chemical reaction is going to create a lot of heat. It will be like a sauna in this house for the rest of the day. I'm excited to be warm. Coming off there. We're gonna start melting the snow off the roof real quick. I love that it just goes hard so quick and so fast. The chemical reaction is instantaneous. Then he follows along, measures for depth, making sure that they're good. You can already hear, I'm echoey over here a little bit, but when I step into this area, you can hear that it's absorbing the sound already. That's amazing. Now, if you wanted to go the extra mile, we'll obviously do all the exterior walls, the roof of this house, That's minimum. But if you wanted to go the extra mile, these guys can soundproof your house pretty much, where they will shoot all of your interior walls as well, and then it becomes completely void of sound. That's kind of a nice feature if you want that. Check out all that spray foam insulation. It's 1 foot minimum, but up in the creases, like this center crease right here and up in there, he says it ends up being somewhere around 15 or 16 inches. And you can already feel such a difference in the house. You can hear it. It doesn't echo at all. Along with the insulation value, along with the R value and the heat retention or air conditioning retention that you're going to gain from using this open cell system, something that he adds, if you want to, is you can start kind of soundproofing rooms. So he can do interior walls and floors so it takes the sound out. And let's demonstrate right here. On these stairs, for instance, I know that those decibels aren't that loud, but it's something that if I can eliminate that sound, I'm going to right now. Once this room is complete with hardwood, it is going to echo a lot in here. So if I can get rid of a little bit of echo sound there, we're gonna do it. So he's gonna shoot the bottom of that and then I'll show you the sound difference. Now to note, we are not going like the full thickness of the walls like you typically would do. Just a little bit, just enough to kind of dampen that sound, and it's gonna work magic. There is no echo sound in there. You hear your step, but it's not a bump, bump, bump. If you are going to go with a, say, closed cell or open cell, this is open cell. If you're going to go with one of those systems, I recommend looking at options or opportunities where they can spray that will really help change some of the sound. For instance, when we put our HVAC trunk lines in, a lot of noise comes from houses when those turn on and off because they expand and contract, and it's just a pain, and I don't like hearing it. So if I have him spray that, it helps reduce that. I don't know if you can tell, but the echo in this house is starting to leave slowly. And since we have passed our 4-way inspection, we are now to the point where we can start insulating our exterior walls. And they have been in here working over the weekend, just killing it. If you're not familiar, there are a lot of different choices when it comes to the insulation of your house. And I personally wanted to go with the most airtight envelope I could technically afford. And there is a more expensive version of what I've put in. This is called open cell foam, and it's very, very good R value. You can go to closed cell foam, which is a higher R value, but at that point it was a lot more expensive, and I didn't feel like I was gonna get a return on as much investment there. Another option is fiberglass batting, or say blown in cellulose. That's like a paper fiber that they blow in and it fills every crevice. It's really good. And either way, you are required to have certain minimums of R value. I decided to go with a spray in because I wanted two things to occur. I wanted a really, really good R value. I want the heat, especially from the radiant of the house in the basement, to come all the way up the house. And if your walls are insulated well and your roof cap's insulated well, it will stay in the home, and all 3 floors will benefit from that radiant heat downstairs. So I really wanted to capture that and keep that in the house. 2, I really wanted to seal everything off. And when you bat everything, it's great. It does give you a decent R value. You'll feel the difference, but it doesn't seal every little crevice. Whereas this open cell foam goes into everything, penetrates everything, and it is just solid. It's so airtight that it will go in and fill in that void and come back out, and then they shave it off with a big old knife. And that's how you get that airtight kind of envelope. Because the envelope on this house is so airtight, we have to do a few things. One, if you have a range hood on your house, you have to have a makeup air system, and I will do a whole vlog on that and show you what we did for that. When they foamed the roof cap 2 months ago, it was freezing outside, so it warmed up a little bit. But now that it's actually warm outside and you're feeling this, there is serious heat coming off this. Like, this house is gonna warm up quite a bit. Our insulation is completely done in the house. They've actually started shaving it and getting it just smooth as butter for the sheetrock. But one last little detail they are gonna do is they are shooting those trunk lines. So they've gone ahead and already shot this one, and they'll just shave it from the bottom off. But what that's gonna do is just reduce noise, reduce popping and movement in the metal that you just get a ton of if you just leave it uncovered. And it's okay to leave it uncovered. It's not code to cover it, at least here where we live. But I do recommend it. If you have the time and the ability, I would absolutely have them shoot that. It didn't cost really much extra, and he's got it ready, and so he's just gonna do it, and it'll be perfect. And I'm really excited to see the difference in how it runs. So the company I hired, so we went with a good, I'm gonna get that good of a spray job, I'd be lying. If you're not, yeah. If I said